Welcome to this walkthrough video of Publicate, where I'm going to show you how you can create this email newsletter in under 5 minutes and how you can easily export it to send through any email service provider, including Outlook, MacMail, MailChimp, or any other one you can think of, by just copying and pasting the code into the body of an email. So we're in the workspace and it's split into two sections. You've got your content library on the left. Then on the right, we've got the area for creating your newsletter and editing the newsletter. So let's go ahead and start adding some content to the library. First off, we can just copy and paste the link for any web page that we want to add to our newsletter into that bar, and you'll see it automatically adds it to your library. If we're looking for a more automated way of getting content in there, if you click on Connect to Source, you'll see that we've integrated with all of these different services and the browser extension. So let's go and see how this Chrome browser extension works. We find a page that we want to add to our newsletter, we click the button and it will say page saved. We can add tags and organize it in folders if we want to, but I'm not going to do that right now. I'm just going to go ahead and save all of these different pieces of content that I want to add to my newsletter. There we go. And when I come back, we'll see that all of the content has now been added to our library. So let's go ahead and do that. The easiest is just dragging and dropping, and it will bring up the different layout options that we can add the content to, or you can choose to select a new row. And this gives you the different empty content layout options and also the different content types that you can add. So let's go ahead, add a block of text, and there it's added the text in a single column. So I'm just going to copy that, paste it into the newsletter, and you'll see that when you highlight text, it brings up all of the text editing options like colors, font, style, bold, etc. Then we're going to move on to adding a header image. So here's one I created earlier, and when that uploads, it'll give us different options to change the size, the layout. We can hyperlink it, but in this case I'm just going to leave it exactly as it is. So the first piece of content I want to add is a video, and I want to put that in a section. So I'm going to put in a title here called video. Now you'll see these editing options open up on the left, and I can change things like the background color. I can change background width. I can even put a radius on it if I want to. But I'm going to leave that with full width. Then I'm going to change the text color to white, and I'm going to reduce the text to 28 and left align it because it's going to be a section title. Okay, so now I want the text to be above this title. So anything that you add to a newsletter can be easily dragged and dropped to reorder. So grab the video, drag it to where you want to add it, and I want this to be single column. And you'll see that when you add content to a newsletter in Publicate, it automatically pulls the feature image, the title, and the description from the URL. So all of these are fully editable, and you can even change the layout of the content. So if we click on here, maybe I want the image to be left aligned and the text right, or the other way around, or maybe remove the image altogether. But in this case, I'm going to stick with the main feature image and the text underneath, and actually I don't want the description, so I'm going to get rid of that. The other thing that you can edit is the call to action. So we will pull in the favicon and the URL as default, which you can change the color of. But then you can also select that to be a call to action of text, or maybe a button. So in this case, I'm going to put a button in. I'm going to call it watch this video, keep it center aligned, and apply that. So now the video has a call to action. So for this section, what I'm going to do is call it news, because I've got a couple of news articles. So I'm going to add a title. Let's call it news. And you'll see that the previous style used for the title is already saved. So I can just hit select, it applies that style, and I'm good to go, saving me even more time. I want a 2-column because I've got something about Instagram and something about Google, 2 pieces to add. So if I drag that in and select the 2-column, you'll see that it adds it in the first empty space, and then let's add the Google one on the right, and there's my news articles done. So next section, this one's just going to be titled articles, and again we're going to apply an existing style, and then I want this to be 3-column. So if I choose just a layout column to start with, it'll just add 3 empty blocks. So I've already got the content here in my library. I'm just going to drag and drop each of these pieces in, and there we go, we've added our articles in. What I'm going to do is add a divider. So to style that, I'm going to choose a double line. I want the thickness to be 10, and I'm going to stick with the color palette I've been using. So we're going to go with the blue, apply that, and actually I'm going to make that full width as well. So there's one line. Now I want to drive some traffic from the newsletter to my blog, so I'm going to put in a call to action button, and we're going to title this "Read More on Our Blog." So let's add that, and then I'm going to link it to the blog, and for style purposes I'm going to add another divider below, and again document style is saved, so I'm just going to add that. Last thing is just to add a footer image. Here's one I created earlier. There we go, and you've got exactly the same editing options, but we're going to leave that as it is. Okay, so that's the newsletter done. To preview it, all we need to do is click here, and it will show you what it looks like in people's inboxes, and also what it will look like in people's inboxes on mobile. So everything you create in Publicate is fully mobile responsive. So once you're happy with your newsletter, it's time to export it so that you can send it out through any email newsletter tool. To do that, all you need to do is click on the export, and you'll see that we've already integrated with Gmail. So if you click on that, it will send the newsletter fully formatted straight to your drafts in Gmail. We've connected with MailChimp, so if I click this, it'll take me through to MailChimp, land you on the recipient page so you can choose the list you want to send it to. But if I click on design, you'll see that the newsletter has been sent through to MailChimp and is now actually ready for me to send out using MailChimp. If you're not using Gmail or MailChimp and you want to add it to any other email provider, all you need to do is click on the copy HTML code. So this is MacMail, works in Outlook or any other mail tool, and just paste it into the body, and there is the newsletter ready to go out. And that's how to use Publicate to create and export HTML newsletters.